John Doyle from OptixEQ, and video race of the day is race 5 from Gulfstream Park on Wednesday, December the 29th. This is the second race on this day that I'm doing. It's kind of the back half of a midday daily double, and it's another tricky race, a difficult race, and so it's a tough game. If you want to win, you got to deal with these difficult races. So the plot fit we have is red. The contention, again, like the last race in the fourth race, was it's a snowflake, and then the speed rating in this case is very low, 15. So this definitely will favor horses leftmost, and the horses that look best leftmost are the numbers 3 and 5. They're both squares, so it gives them an advantage. The one a little bit to the left, so that's another one we'll consider. It looks like the 7 might be, and it's just lesser extent. The 2 and the 4 look a little bit up against it, being to the more to the right. But that's kind of a view from a plot. And let's dig into the grid. And one thing I'm going to do on the grid is we have 4 horses that are coming back who ran against each other the last time, and that is the 2, 3, 4, and 5. What I did here was I just filtered on that race date. So it was you got to make sure it's the same race. So it's Gulfstream Race 8 that was on December the 4th, and it was the claiming crown day, and there was a claiming crown race, and it was 5 furlongs on the turf. Today they're going to be 5.5 furlongs on synthetic, so just keep that in mind. The horse that did the best, or the horses that the order they kind of ran, and I'm just let me sort by order here. Finish. Let me sort by finish here. Okay, so the 5 ran the best in terms of finish, followed by the 3, and then the 2 and the 4. Okay, so the thing I want to kind of point out was there wasn't much pace in the race, slow early. Okay, so I would give that advantage to the 5 a little bit because he was forward. If you look at the extended note, it's always important to look at these extended notes, especially when you see something like scared in there. So this horse didn't find the right path till past middle of turn. So that means this horse had some issues. I would probably maybe characterize it as traffic, but in this case, scared because he was kind of in between horses. But didn't get a clean trip is the point. And so this horse is maybe that's something to consider in this. The other thing I want you to look at is the odds of the horses. Okay, so if you look at the odds of the horses, the highest odd horse was the 5, the connector, at 24 to 1, and the lowest price was the 4, Belgrano, and then followed by the 3, Harry's on the loose. If you look at the odds today, when we looked at the plot, remember we said the plot on the 5 looks good. The odds on the 5, let's just click back. Today is 4 to 1. Compared to 7.2 on the 3, and then the 4 is 5.2. Now, do you want this horse who was 24 to 1 last time at 4 to 1 today? I don't. Okay, so it seemed like he might have got more of the trip because of the early pace. The 4, didn't get a trip, right, because he was too far back, but I don't see him getting a better trip today, right? There's nothing in this race from a pace perspective that's going to help him. And the 2 looks like the same, is in the same boat as the 4. If they change their tactics, okay, it kind of takes them out of their race because their run style is more geared toward presser closer. So keep that in mind. Now, this is synthetics. It's a whole new ball game to some extent, and they go a little bit longer, but still, to me, in the common race, the horse that has the advantage is the number 3, Harry's on the loose. That would be the horse I would probably be most apt to land on of those horses. Okay, so that's evaluating horses that ran together last time. To me, the 3 looks like the best of those. Okay. Okay, so now let's evaluate some of these other horses in here. And I'm going to look at the 1, the 6, and the 7. And the one that's most interesting to me is the 1. And you can see he's going to be coming a third off a layoff. And this is a horse that ran an 87 last time, which is a really good figure versus much better horses. And it was on the dirt, going 7 furlongs, a distance that he's really not, is probably his best distance. Right? This horse is kind of run at a mile and 7 furlongs, but you can see he does some of his best rating at 5 furlongs. So I think the switch in distance, the drop in class, third off a layoff, back to a jockey that he's familiar with, one that's won with him before. You can see Armillo, right? Yeah, he's won with this horse before. This is a horse to remember. He was one of those horses that was kind of forwardly placed. If he can get a good forward position, maybe behind the 3 and the 5, this horse really rates as a chance to win. Just again, he's run figures in the low 90s. Definitely got a big chance to win this race. The 6 is also a little bit interesting. Um, but Lopez is off this horse. But his last race, was against better. He was shuffled, scared again. Another horse that didn't have good running room. He's kind of plots as more of a presser. If you can remember the plot, he's kind of up high on there. So another horse to consider. I don't like him as much as I do like the 1 and the 3, but another horse to consider. And then the 7, not too crazy on him, even though he ran pretty well last time. His win jockey Reyes ends up on the 3. Just the point. Even though Saez gets on this horse, you would think that's a positive. Not really, because his win jockey's on another horse in today's race. So for me, it's the 1 and the 3. If I had to lean somewhere, it'd probably be the 3. The 1's going to be a much better price. But those 2 I would use in the double, mid-race double. We gave you race 4, and this was race 5, the back end of that double. So thanks for listening. If you have any questions, shoot us off an email. Contact us on our website, OptixEQ.com. And thanks for listening. And thank you for supporting OptixEQ.